Oh, hello and welcome back to Crowswood Model Railway. This is going to be just a short update video because I've got a little bit of a cough because it is that time of year for me where I am a bit more prone to getting the old coughs and colds and splutters and wheezes. Like an old broken down diesel engine, but this is essentially a little bit of an update because I have got something new on the layout, which you might be able to see one of them here. And if I turn the camera, you've got another one here, another one here, and there's 6 in all. There's another one protecting the water siding for the goods yard, as well as coming off the main line backwards into the goods line. I'll sort of put the engine a bit more out of the way, I think, for now. So I'll bring her up to that one, but you can just about, if I zoom in, see it over there. I've not done any rodding or anything. All I've done is I wanted it to look like it was a little bit signalled. But now it's sort of protecting the, whoops daisy, do apologise, it's protecting the crossing, as well as protecting the other sidings and the crossing at the same time, and also making sure the train doesn't go onto the main line or doesn't come off the main line where it doesn't need to. And so after having given the go ahead, B4 comes along nice and slowly, because you always want to couple up nice and slowly if you can. I'm going to take these 2 wagons out. I went to the Stafford show at the end of September, so that John Norton and Son wagon behind the SR1, that is a new one, but it only cost, well, new to me, cost me 2 or 3 quid. Try and get a little bit closer in on it. It's a Daypar one. It's got the wider than the NEM, but narrower than the Hornby Railroad couplings. But it does. It rolls alright, it looks alright. Of course, being sort of Kent, it's Southern. Well, a good number of Southern wagons while that's there, actually. Up past here. And then waiting at the second signal. Oh, well. And then it would be allowed to continue on to the main line. I'm still looking at how to get this goods area sort of powered itself, either using a combi, or I'd rather have a 3-line gauge master controller. There's the Model TS, which has 3 lines and also a simulated brake. I don't think I need it to be that complicated, so I'm going to have a look around and still having a bit of a think, because electrically speaking, this goods yard is very far away from the controller, as the point of power is below this bridge. And I could always find a way and maybe put some droppers in and have it a bit more complicated wiring, but rather have it as simple as possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring her back. So she's going to wait at that signal, and then it would then change, and she'll then come in. I'm not sure if you can hear the rattling sound, but that's just sort of couplings and all this wagon, because for some reason it's rattling at the moment. But I'll just uncouple. Oop, there we go. And take her back just a little bit, as if she's getting cold. And so that's really it in terms of upgrades at the moment, and what's new on the layout. As I have just put these little signals in, unless you count the new birds, because there are 3 new birds on the layout, although it's a bit hard to see. So up here there are now 2 magpies instead of just the 1. And now we've come up to sort of the Tower Park side, which is just opposite the doorway. And there is now, instead of an attempted murder, there is now a murder of 4 crows on the layout. So, I apologise, most of them seem to be pointing in that kind of direction. Come back this way, and it is a couple of police officers. However, I don't think they're looking for a murder at the moment. And so on to something a little bit different now, and that I've got a future plan, which is a light railway / industrial railway type layout, which is going to be downstairs, and it will be themed around little engines, mostly saddle tanks, such as Westminster here is the B2 Peckett, and I think has featured on the channel before. But she is a lovely, lovely engine, and I don't think the camera's doing her any justice. Nope. So what I'll do in a bit is I will bring her a bit closer to the camera in a bit. Waiting for the Depot Hawthorne Leslies. Have been delayed a little bit because they were initially going to be out around this time, but now they're not going to be out until about maybe December, most likely around January, February time. I'm really looking forward to them. I've got 2 of those on pre-order, and then I've got 3 of the Hattons Andrew Barclays on pre-order, because it is going to be just little engines. I'm debating getting one of the Planet Industrials Stuart Victories, just because it looks like an interesting engine. However, there are currently 2 locomotives for that layout for now. So we've currently got Westminster, and coming into shot now is Bear, which is a W4 Peckett. However, it was sent to the Andrew Barclay Works at one point, and so that's why it's got the non-Peckett safety valves. So safety valves are, from what I could tell at least, an Andrew Barclay design, and they're not W4 or Peckett safety valves. There is a W4 at Foxfield, Henry Court, or Court if it's French, I'm not sure. It's a French pronunciation. Then has different safety valves. Daphne, who is another preserved W4, has different safety valves. And so then his bear with what looks like the Andrew Barclay safety valves. So what I'll do is I'll just get these two a little bit closer and into shot so that I can show sort of these engines, and I can briefly explain what my plan is in regards to downstairs. Okay, so there's the two Pecketts up a little bit closer. I put the flash on so it's a little bit easier to see the colours, and they are really nice colours on them. The bear is really bright and really colourful, and I absolutely adore how she's got the sort of the red underframe and then the blue body and wheels. It is a really, really nice livery. However, I would say that Westminster in this, I'm not sure how to describe it, but it's absolutely lovely green. Yeah, I think overall I do prefer the B2 Pecketts to the W4s. I mean, they're a little bit more reliable. I say little, they're significantly more reliable over points. However, W4, as long as the wheels are clean and you clean the track regularly, it's pretty much okay over the points. Even on my slightly dodgy track laying. I absolutely just adore this green on the wheels as well. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I think it looks a little bit better as 06. It looks more right to me anyway. So just turn them both around. So you can see sort of a little bit of the differences on the other side, if there are any. So the reasons why I chose Bear as the second Peckett are: number one, I like the open cab, so I'll just turn her so you can sort of see. It is a wonderful, so much detail in there. It's really easy to see the detail thanks to the cab being open. But I also, another reason I chose this one as the next Peckett is partly because of the Andrew Barclay link. As I'm going to be having three, assuming nothing goes wrong, three of the Hatton's Andrew Barclays, it makes sense at least that the railway might have sent 300 Barclays as well as Bear in its sort of history to the Andrew Barclay Works, or if they had a Peckett, it may not have been Bear, but send it. It wouldn't have been, it's a fictional place. They all send them up, and so having the Andrew Barclay safety valves and the plate, which I believe is the red one, it just adds a little bit of flavour and a little bit of story to the railway which I am building, which is, again, like Rosewood, like my engaged layout, Tahiouyama. It's completely fictitious in where it's based. It's not a real place. It's got some bases in reality, but it's almost completely fictional. I think I will be getting another B2 at some point. Maybe a coal board one to bring in the coal deliveries for the locomotives and take away empty coal wagons. because I want to try and have some more set movements, because Crowswood is mostly just run trains, which is great and relaxing with a cup of tea, a bit of music. But if I want to play with the trains a bit more, then I can have the layout downstairs, which will be about 2 meters by 1 meter. So it's just under 7 foot, I think, by a little bit over 3 foot. 3 foot is about 90 centimeters, so 3'4", 3'5". It'll be an end-to-end. It will have a very small passenger platform. They're due in December, but I've got a 3-pack of Genesis coaches pre-ordered. They're the red ones. Reason being red is because the doors on the Metcalfe buildings I'm using are red. So I'm sticking with a mostly red theming. So there's red water towers, there'll be red yard lamps, there will be red coaches. The locomotives themselves will be any what colour, purely because they will be sort of mostly ready to run. Although if I get the curse strip, be ready to run, but I'll customise it a little bit more. So it's not so much to me, for example, that this is a real locomotive would have actually worked in that area. It's more like this is a type of locomotive the company might have purchased second hand. Same with Bear and Westminster, their engines they might have purchased second hand, such as that the Kent and East Sussex Light Railway, that brought quite a bit of second hand stock, such as its terriers, its coaches, when it was sort of in its early days. And so it's a similar concept. Westminster was initially built, I believe, for the War Department, and so instead of her going to cement works, maybe she went in this alternate world to the light railway, or a B2 Peckett for the War Department was purchased by the railway. Same sort of thing with the W4 when it was purchased second hand, because especially as this one was built, I believe, in 1896, and is the oldest surviving Peckett in the country. And just a quick side note for anyone who is after these, wants to know there are numbers. The Peckett W4 Bear is R3703, and the B2 for the cement works Westminster is R3694. Accidentally, I think these are both preserved. Oop, I do apologise, I was moving something, and so my tractor decided it'd be a good idea to move my hand in the other way. But accidentally, these are both preserved ones. I would like Hornby to make Henry Court. I don't know if they will do. If they do, that'll be one I purchased. And again, Henry Court is a W4, which is at Foxfield in the museum. And she is quite a lovely engine, but it would be nice to see her in steam again. But I don't know if there's the money for that. So continuing on, before I go off on another tangent, which I'm brilliant at doing, as well as a short platform, very small platform again, three of the Genesis coaches. I've got one Hornby XLSWR crimson coach, so I'm sticking with the red theming on the coaches. Is the industry it'll be serving is a brewery from the Metcalfe are doing the new brewery buildings, and so they're getting some of them, and I will be building up, hopefully, quite a nice, interesting brewery area. There will be, I've got the big stone goods shed. I've got the little, I think, set on Carlisle, technically, shelter, which I'm using as my main platform building. I've got a stone goods shed, a new ramshackle hut factory building, which I will be possibly getting a second one of and adding it, as well as having probably 2 brewery buildings with the chimney stacks and an old factory as part of processing some of the items coming in, going out. Maybe they're building the barrels and then putting in the barrels the alcohol, whatever it is, beer or cider most likely, and then shipping it off. I think that will do it this video, because if I talk too much more, I will be coughing and spluttering quite a bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put both of these engines on the track with some of the rolling stock, which I've gotten either new from the Stafford show or from what I already had in the collection, which will be going downstairs to run on the new layout. So I will leave you with some running shots, and hopefully in the next video I'll be a bit less coughy and spluttery.